All right, welcome Walter Rouse. He's offensive tackle, Oklahoma University, transferred from Stanford, played 5-year starter, 35-inch arms, athletic, long, really smart, and just glad to have him Minnesota Viking.
Okay, any questions?
Mike was just taking a look at Walter's numbers here. What was it about the fit with Oklahoma you think that kind of took his game to the next level this year?
I think he wanted to challenge himself. He graduated in 4 years.
Recording in progress.
He had started every game for 4 years at Stanford, played through COVID, but felt like he had some unfinished business to do, wanted to improve his draft stock, so he wanted to go kind of to a football factory, and so he chose he chose Oklahoma over some bigger NIL offers. One of the things that kind of struck me to him, I was at the Alamo Bowl game when he chose to play in the game, even with 52 career starts. That was something that impressed me about him. So it was a little bit of proving himself. He went on to play in the East-West Shrine game for another opportunity for exposure, and really wanted to show the NFL what he could do.
Hey, Mike, he's obviously very skilled academically as well. Just how much does that help both in transferring in college and then going to the NFL level as well, just in learning what he needs to from the playbook, et cetera?
Absolutely, yeah. If you're a biomechanical engineer at Stanford and graduate in 4 years, you know how to prioritize life and function at a high level in a strong academic environment. That translates over to just the pressures and rigors of daily NFL life. Understanding the playbook will not be an issue for him. We got a chance to meet him, learn about his why, his football journey. He started out as a basketball player. Football sort of found him, had opportunities to go into medicine, really an Eagle Scout growing up. So this is a well-rounded individual with high aptitude and also 35-inch arms. And one of the things he talked about was he doesn't want pancakes, he wants waffles. And I didn't know what that was, and he said waffles are when you pancake somebody and then step on them with your cleats. So an element of toughness, an element of sophistication and length and athletic ability that we covet.
Mike, do you think right tackle is something he could do as well if you need him to swing either side?
He has started left tackle for his entire career. One of the things that we're looking at in all the players that we bring in is versatility. So the one thing we'll point to is that he played on the blind side at Stanford, but he was the left tackle for a left-handed quarterback this year. So we don't think that having to flip from one side to the other will inhibit him at the next level, but we'll get him in and let Coach Cooper cook and get him into that offensive line room and see how it shakes out.
Well, I assume you guys had followed him last season too. I guess how did that transfer and spending one more season in college help his stock?
Yeah, one of the things with a lot of these players, and you saw it play out on Thursday night and Friday night, anytime you have 5-6 years of evidence, a player that might have been considered developmental 2 years ago, now you're getting to see what that finished product looks like a year, even 2 years into instead of taking a true redshirt sophomore or a true junior, you're taking a fifth-year player with 5 years of evidence playing against high-level competition. So that's one of the measures that we can use. We don't have to spend that extra year developing him. He got that extra year of development at Oklahoma this year.
Mike, you just mentioned versatility being something you guys kind of covet. Is that more of an emphasis than maybe it used to be for you guys?
Probably. I think the more you can do, particularly value of the roster. If you're on, anywhere on the team, if you're not a starter, you're playing on special teams. If you're not a starter, if you're a backup, you can't just be a one-position backup. So I think the more you can do, just helps you, helps the team, helps the roster spot. It helps make tougher decisions as we pare down the roster.
Mike, you mentioned him having a basketball background. I did notice he had a pretty high vertical for a tackle. But how does that play into it? Like, is there a natural athleticism that comes along with being a basketball player that would transfer over to tackle?
Absolutely. Feet, hips, mobility, movement, anticipation. A lot of times, just the vision of the game, just seeing things before things happen and being able to react and recover really plays into his skill set.
What percentage of guys are Eagle Scouts?
That we don't have a number at hand, but we're glad to add one to the room today.
I think that's a job for Quasey to look into, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I think somebody on the team probably has that number. I just, yeah.